Thanks for watching part 4 of this FDA 483 series as given by Compliance Insight. This is a series that information on what the closeout is going to entail, what are the observations. Have an appropriately sized area ready for the closeout. Make sure you have everything ready, it's comfortable, you've got a table, you've got chairs, whatever it is. Make sure that that is all ready for all those people who will be there. Make sure you have enough chairs for the people. If all goes well, great. They're going to talk about what they went through. They're just going to say everything was fine. They'll give an EIR, Establishment Inspection Report. They'll write that up. That'll be available to you at some point in the future, blah, blah, blah. But if you get a 483, trust me on this, it is not the end of the world. I've been there with many of them coming out. They're just notifications that you did something wrong. Now, obviously, some could be worse than others. It could be that you have no quality system versus you forgot to dot an I or cross a T. That's significantly different. You have to work on these things quickly, effectively, skillfully to resolve the 43s so they don't lead into other problems. Determine up front how you respond in the closeout. Remember, in the closeout, if you make a commitment verbal, they're going to write that down. You will be held to those items. So if you say, oh yeah, well, we'll redo our entire SOP system by the end of the week, then you have to follow that. As ludicrous as it may sound, make sure someone does not go in there and say, oh yeah, we'll do that. Keep their mouths shut. Just listen to it. Only a certain number of people should be able to respond. The rest of them should be there getting the info. Highly, highly recommend that you state you will review the observations, you'll make decisive changes, and respond within the allotted time frame. That way it gives you a chance to think about it, look at it, resolve it with a clear, calm, cool head rather than going into the closeout. Take notes during the closeout. Just because the audit ends doesn't mean the note-taking ends. You're going to get your 483, but you want to note anything discussed during the closeout, particularly from the inspector. You want to make sure that you get a clear understanding. What were the issues? What were the problems? And understand, you may want to even ask them a little bit beyond what I'm talking about here in this presentation. If we have questions, can we call you to discuss it? Just make sure that you have an open, clear communication stream available to them. If there are any errors, correct them. Be professional about it. Say, well, wait, that's not correct. Here's what we have. Just make sure that you do it professionally. Don't go in there and slam them. Don't make them look like fools. We're all human. We all make errors. Just try to help them out, come up with a correct report on your operation. Again, the mess created by an audit, you understand that. We spoke about that in the last part. If you have a mass of information that's available during the audit, you have to clean all that up. You have to put it all back where it came from. You want to make sure you reconcile everything before you start throwing trash out, before you start closing things up. There's a lot of real-time, accurate, right documentation in that room that comes from the batch records, that comes from the testing, that comes from anything. And it's real, it's authentic, it's the only copy. If you lose that, it's gone. You can't recreate it. So you want to make sure that you reconcile that. Gather all the notes, all the copies, don't throw anything away until you resolved any situation is resolved, specifically in doing the response. Give thanks to your team. They've worked hard. They were there for you. They did all the needed running around. Their work is delayed. They probably caught grief for not doing certain things. You want to thank them for it. You may even consider a day off if the audit was long or intense. Half a day off, whatever your company allows. Just look at it, try to work it out so that everybody gets some benefit that was involved in this thing. I've often gone out and bought pizza for people as thanks for lunch. Pass along the observations to management and corporate as necessary. Be prepared to have conference calls, discuss the observations. Remember, above all else, you have 15 days to respond to the observation. That's 15 working days, so don't count weekends in there. You've got 15 days to get that response put together, hammered out, reviewed, everything, and delivered to the FDA's hands on at least day 15. If you have any questions with this particular section, you need more information, give us a call. The number's right there. Any number of us here would certainly be more than willing to help you get through these types of things. You go to our website. There's a lot of free information out there on our website. Look for these presentations like this, more of them on YouTube. Look for them on SlideShare. There's a lot of info that we've put together to try to help people. Just go out there and make sure you gather all that. You can send us an email at info@compliance-insight.com, and we'll try to get back to you with as much information as we can, as quickly as we can, and hopefully it'll help you out. Thanks for watching. Thank you for taking the time to look at this. Give us any feedback on this type of thing. We're always looking for feedback. We try to be a value-added service to people, so this is part of that service. Again, thank you and good luck.